This is a very, I think, interesting and as difficult as it is, I think it's also a very important moment for us as followers of Jesus. And I think this is a time in which we can, take this chance to think about, how our followership of Jesus is going. And I think this is an important time because we can either become mindful or a mindless people. And in the past couple of days, probably in the last week, I've been painfully aware of the way which I mindlessly go about my days. And not only me, but all other people as well. I think that for most of us, the screen time in our phones is up. Netflix is always on. I'm willing to bet some of you already finished that Tiger King thing. Social media seems that has become the only point in which we also have contact with other people, and that's not saying much. Every time I turn my PlayStation, I can see a number of people that have been there for a while, and that is because probably just going mindlessly about our days is easy. Mindlessness seems to be easier than mindfulness, doesn't it? And I think the answer to that question is both yes and no. Mindless is actually the place where both the future and the past are kind of at war. To live mindlessly is actually to live in the mercy of our thoughts and our emotions. In his book, Holy Noticing, Arthur Charles Stone notes that then, when we live mindlessly, we're often likely either replaying the difficulties from the past that we can't change, or are ruminating and rehashing problems that they're out of our control, that could occur in the future. And some of you might be feeling this reality, maybe even this week. But the call and the gift of the discipline of notice is that it brings you to the present and makes you mindful. Mindfulness is this beautiful ability to be present and completely aware of the moment that we are in, and that actually frees us from tyranny, frees us from the tyranny of what wasn't and what could be, and it helps us notice what is actually important. In a mindful space, we are dealing with things as they actually are. The things that maybe we would have missed or avoided because we weren't being fully present, or simply the things that we might not been aware because we weren't mindful of the moment. We could miss the things that could actually bring us joy, things like being together with our families, or realizing the gift of communications that we have that becomes so important lately. We could miss moments that brings hope, that actually help us combat these bad days that we're going. We could miss stories of survival and healing that could radically change our value systems, not only for ourselves, but for other people as well. Mindfulness, therefore, frees us from, in many ways, to notice what is happening in and around us in the present moment, and ultimately releases us from living lives bound and enslaved to reaction and judgment. But there is a fine line between these two realities. Scientifically speaking, there is a space between stimulus and response. There is a small window, and in that window is that we actually have to make a choice. Will we choose to give in to the loudest emotion or the circumstances and their potential outcomes, or the anxieties of the moment, or we will slow down? Or we slow down instead and actually become present in the moment. See, I think that's why the Bible brings this beautiful, and we quote that passage oftentimes here at SCC. Be still, stop and pause, be still, and know that I am God, says the Lord.
I think it's terribly dangerous for an artist to fulfill other people's expectations. I think